All right. Hi. Um, it's been a minute. It's a full moon in Capricorn today, and I'm going to be giving you this light stream today. Always kind of wondering, like, as I'm putting this together, like, what's going to come up? Like, do I want to speak on the current cosmic climate right now? Uh, right now being what's happening with the world stage. So as I start looking through and seeing these signs and I get the mediumship coming through, it makes total sense that we are where we are right now. And the state of things in the world as they are right now. Everybody seems to have their own fight. And I think that everybody having their own fight to fight can be collectively looked at positively as a transmutational energy from us versus um, them versus us, the duality. But what is the underlining to the duality? What is the unifying factor on both sides? And I think as I was ruminating on this and meditating on this energy, again, for what it is to you, the viewer, to me, the speaker, it can be many things. But the underlining is for their for somebody else to reap the benefit or for the betterment of something outside of myself, be that a group of people, be that a country, be that a foreign country, or just, whatever your fight is. The underlining is I'm hoping for better as a result from said fight. I have all manner of people that I talk to that have so many contrasting views on so many different topics. And this world is collapsing fin- finitely in on itself. The way through and what we can hope for is the better tomorrow from that collapsing of the finite world as it is today. Collectively speaking, this is what it is. It sucks. But again, you have to take what's given and do with it what you will. Are you going to sow chaos or are you going to sow cosmos? It's up to you. And both answers are collectively correct. Again, your fight is your fight. I think I wanted to preface kind of with this message in the wake of just the past 6 months. And with this full moon in Capricorn, we are really looking at what we set into motion in the new moon in Capricorn a few months back, roughly 6 months back. And this way forward, this way through, will start to ruminate and become more tangible, visible as a newly established paradigm in just a month, September 8th. But that's more into the planetary, scale of things. I I'm going to just hop right into the energy here and just go into a lot of things. So nothing should really be pondered on too much. This is just more to wash through our subconscious. Again, right now with this full moon in Capricorn, it's a time for reflection to avoid repetition. So it's okay, I've done all of this growth. I've done all of this work and dang it, I did that. On a personal scale, my business is fully established now to the point where I'm getting to do the fun stuff. I am so excited with the team that's come out of the woodwork over the past 6 months. And my heart's full because a lot of the people that were part of the old business stayed around to embrace the change and embrace, the exchange of leadership. My leadership being fostered by the mentorship from the person that I exchanged the leadership with. Shout out to Ruth. So now that I'm sitting here, the owner, the expert, and that's kind of where we all are now. We should have been doing enough work that now we are the ascended mind in the arena that we have chosen, be that what it may. So, this vision in this arena will change again in this next month and a half, to further deepen the roots of what we have decided to become and already are and have become, but will be all the more so in a month and a half from now. I know it seems like huge changes, small increments. This is going to really be the benchmark for a lot of people to fall into that repetition because the lesson slightly eludes you. And for a lot of us, this is the last chance to learn the lesson that we're being given before this new paradigm fully takes root and we are as we are for the next 7 or 8 years. I thought I could do this without my glasses, but we're just gonna, hi. So let's kick it off into the energy. Blessings to you on this new moon, or this full moon in Capricorn. And let's get right into it. So, again, we're talking about the past 6 months. We've been on this healing odyssey that's taken us on a journey of I would never do that. To I'm totally about that. What I mean by that, it's not betrayal of like your own traditions or your own identity, but it's actually an evolution and adaptation into the higher version of that. Not just healing the past, but healing for the sake of standing in the wake of this new awareness that we are currently in, this new paradigm that we are right on the precipice of. Finding harmony in that new paradigm. Where do I fit in? This is my voice. This is how I want to be perceived. This is now the new vision, the new face, the new branding. It's the new branding. I love that. Harmoniously finding that vibe and being able to be part of the collective, but at the same time asserting our individuality, not to lose ourselves, not to become the voice of the movement, but to still maintain our individuality as we proceed through the movement. So we're simply a vibration, encouraging each other to grow and excel, succeed, transform, all the good stuff. So again, it's interesting that this energy that I'm speaking about can speak to you no matter what drum you're beating right now. And you have the choice of several, believe it. Authenticity, intimacy in that authenticity is going to be paramount in this new sea of awareness. And also facing up to the emotional turmoil that the past is gone. The world as you knew it is gone. And give that time and space and give that its flowers, but it's officially, you should have already done that, essentially. You should have already had those good final farewells to those older versions of yourself that needed you to arrive where they are, to arrive where you are, that now you'll arrive where you'll be. time is a funny thing across gravitational space. Time to talk. So we are taking the time now to have that inner dialogue, that inner reflection, especially with this full moon and it's beautiful, like shining down. Karma is just sort of rewarding us right now that we've been through it, and if you know what it is, it means that you've paid dues and diligence and discipline to be in the fullness and reaping the benefits of that fullness from your discipline. The long nights, the extra hours. Capricorn, let's go. It's all about the climb. So, I mean, authentically reflect on these past 6 months to find yourself again in the readiness of it all. So, changing your life through reflection. That's the theme right now. That big change will come as a result of really looking at those parts of yourself that just did not help you to succeed, and c'est la vie. If it needs to be cut off, it needs to be cut off. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. So, I'm going to also just take this time to do a manifestational mantra with you. So, repeat after me. Hope flows through like a gentle stream, nourishing my soul with positivity, guiding me towards a future filled with endless possibilities. So again, or go ahead and repeat that. Again, it's a future of endless possibilities. If you take the time to reflect on what worked and what you outgrew and no longer has a space in your life. Tale as old as time. We are also moving out of Cancer and into Leo. So the final birthdays are going out. I hope you all had a wonderful time, Cancer. But as of, I think, next week, maybe even tomorrow, it's Leo season. So that radiance, that inner strength, and that inner beast are all going to be coming to the forefront. More so aligned with that grace, that gracefulness of a lion, with the patience not to pounce. You have that patience coming back through. You have that authority coming through. That's every sign. So again, this pause that Luna is giving us, take it and really reflect to change. Not reflecting to let, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. No, it's letting it go. I'm different now. I'm going to do things differently. And it comes from a place of that authentic blossoming within. Meticulously, our minds are kind of operating still. So your to-do list should be right there. You should have your to-do list. Should be right there in front of you. You should still be, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. There's work to be done. Just because I'm talking about reflection doesn't mean, because this full moon energy in Capricorn begs us to do better. It begs us to let go of those things that keep us locked in repetitious ego. Here it comes, and there it goes. I had my chance, I messed it up. So when are you going to get it right? Reflection. Freedom through amusement is going to help us to find the balance from all of this due diligence and discipline that we are going to be onslaught with. So really take your respite and your relaxing seriously. If you want to scroll, then do it up. Because when you are busy, you'll be so busy that it's going to be hard to find those moments in between. So if you can find a moment, just really just own it. Expansiveness through vision and becoming the visionary. So if you want to fully take advantage of this transformative energy and catalyze the fullness of the life that you'll be living through 2025, especially when these planets that are retrograde go direct, it's so important to have your vision and not get distracted by the machine. What is the machine? The machine is right now, currently, utilizing your emotions to distract you. Um, the machine has you fully engulfed in what's right and what's wrong, and this is how I feel, and doesn't anybody care how I feel? Again, this is what causes the departure from the collective. This is what causes isolation and that illusion of separateness, that I'm on this island all alone doing everything I can and God, won't somebody help me? You're not alone. You're getting all the help. All the help is trying to find you. So again, let go of the illusion that you are on this island, because you're not. You're in the palm of your own creation. You have all the help. That's the manifestation. I see all the possibilities, and it can all happen. So have the vision to meet yourself on the other side of that. Rebelling right now is kind of going to be the full momentum through August. That rebellion, that uh, I don't know. I'm not. Am I a rebel? I don't know if I would consider myself too rebellious, because I think in the fact that I am so diligent with everything I do, that's my way of rebelling, which is cool, right? I'm a rebel at heart. I've always gone against the rebelliousness of rebellion to rebel. Rebelception. Yeah. So, I mean, for you, again, translate that how you will to fully grasp and sink your roots into, again, this is me as an individual, but I am still here to push the collective in the direction of spontaneous awakening. Everything that's going on, and I'm still here talking about the moon because that's just where I'm at. And I invite you into that, but it doesn't have to be you. So let's get into these planets. Mars is in Taurus right now. So all of our tactitional mindset, everything that we are quote unquote, fighting for right now is on the home front. Our families are on our mind. How we're going to keep ourselves supported is on our mind. How are we going to keep the lights on is on our mind. So again, it's all about discipline and how you will move forward. So think about that strategically. Think about where everything's going as far as what you can tangibly touch as you own it, and that abundance that's moving through you to really tactfully, strategically get through the end, September-ish, and you'll start to see that smooth out if you are going through that. For those of you that are on that path already, it's going to smooth out again, and you'll have all the more to show for it come September. The sun, again, is currently in Cancer, so we are still in our emotions. We are still in our feelings. However, we have gained a sovereignty over ourselves emotionally. We are not falling victim to how we feel. We are aware of it, and we let it pass. So the light in you, the dark in you, that both has a space to exist simultaneously. Venus in Leo, our relationships are now in the fiery furnace and the bright, and isn't it wonderful? Here I am standing in the glory of all the radiance of those who are around me. We think of Venus, we're not just talking about romantic relationships, but it can also be romantic. I just did a talk with an individual talking about Eros being platonic and Logos, and how you can be on all three of those wheels, and none of them have to exist at the same time. They shouldn't. There should be a wave and an ebb and a flow to those you are in relationships with, whether whatever house they may fill, whatever cup they may fill. So Mars is also, I'm sorry, not in Leo. Mercury is also in Leo. So our speech is going to be very valiant right now. We are going to use our house of truth to speak it. So just make sure that you are not roaring your point across. Again, it's all about having strength, but strength from the inside. So it's I have conviction in what my truth is. I'm going to act on what I do well, and I'm going to succeed because I can control my emotions. I can tame that inner beast. Mars is in Gemini. I'm sorry, not Mars. Uh, oh, Mars will be in Gemini next week. Sorry. Mars will be in Gemini next week. So it's currently leaving Taurus and going into Gemini. So that tactitional stuff will move from the home front to a more higher awareness. How do I move seamlessly from one extreme to the other? All right. So these retrogrades right now, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So there's this invoking of the death and rebirth, more the death of collective like thought and thinking. That's more of on a planetary scale. We are doing away with the old. Um, don't. I heard that. No, I'm just kidding. We are doing away with what has, again, not worked in the past. And we are now moving in the direction of heightened thought. We are heightening our awareness. We are becoming the innovators of this new paradigm. So we are doing that collectively as a planet right now. So again, with this rebelliousness, it is very like French Revolution. I'm going to change the world, Bohemian Rhapsody, all of that. Ceres in Capricorn right now, so it's also just an awakening right now. It's time to get serious about what our vision is. It's time to walk that line to get there and move through to meet yourself there to execute what you had defined for yourself as the plan, as the goal. It's no time to dilly dally right now. Saturn in Pisces, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. We are talking about the house moving on the ocean of our emotions. So imagine you're on a houseboat, and when you fall asleep, when you wake up, you look out your window, you're 100 miles from wherever you were or wherever the current was, or due to the current. The world is changing that fast, and it will be changing and reforming. Dimensionally speaking, we are shifting timelines right now, and your alarm should be set for 3 months from today. That's kind of how I can best articulate that. Neptune in Pisces is also just, again, we are waking up from the dream of how we feel about our future. And now that we've awoken from the dream from our future, it's time to implement into reality and carve out into reality what we have envisioned for ourselves for the next generation to come, or just the next few months to come. Getting into some cards now, I want to talk about the internal, the external. So, again, internally speaking, rest, recovery. For the next 3 days at least, we are plotting to strike, but not yet. Not yet. You need your full strength for what you're about to undertake. You need all of your energy. So take the time to really just collectively take that big, deep breath. Get the rest you need because the fight, the blossom that's now going to be in the wake of our actions is very real. So we need to be prepared for that. How are we going to be prepared for that? We're going to accept people as they are because as the king of the depths, the king of cups, he is friend to all manner of sea creature. He understands that it's not just clownfish down there. There's eels, snakes, and all manner of behemoths that lurk under the deep. And you can be friends with all of them. Or at least respect them for what they are. If it's a shark, that's them. If they're a guppy, that's them. Rounding it off with a card that's probably a little bit scary to some people, but if you understand the meaning of it, here she is, the devil. Now, when we think of the devil in the Christian context, we think of this red horned demon type, like monstrous, lurking, But it's funny. It's funny how when we are close to God or we're close to Spirit, and we are really standing in our righteousness and our correctness, how funny it is that the devil's never far, or that energy is never far. And again, when we're not in our correctness, that spirit is always right there as well to bring us back. The Holy Ghost, or whatever, divine path that you've chosen, is never too far to again. And again, with the devil, it can also be attuned to ego or, what have you. So wherever you are in your life, whether you're correct, incorrect, or need correcting, or you've been too correct and you need to uncorrect, it's all within you. So if it's time to put down the chains and stop counting how many things you've done wrong, or vice versa, it's time to put on that chain because you've been acting up. You have to decide that for you. But excessiveness in any realm of experience leads to suffering, no matter what it is. So, with that being said, to tie it all the way around, you know what's around you. Is it what lurks in the deep? Or is it a guppy? Is it a dolphin or a shark? You have that sovereignty to reorganize and remove or engage and become. But again, the real fight is coming up for you. So make sure that you're not overburdening yourself with where you are right now in terms of good and bad. You just simply are. So really let yourself be where you are right now. Again, we're talking about a moment of reflection tonight. We're talking about I've arrived here and I'm going to move forward from here. So wherever you are, and then something in me is just saying to say this out, you can move forward from wherever you are. And if you've been going hard for so long, you can also find that time for you to disengage for yourself. Again, what you do from tonight is going to set the precedent for the world that you are trying to create for tomorrow. So that's what's going on inside. On the outside, we have all these energies that are clashing, conflicting, but every point is valid. Every point is powerful. Every point has its own journey leading up to this crossing of paths. But again, when we stop and we remember that everything has made its way to where it is today with its own creed and its own worth, then we can stop and we can stop the clashing and start the collaboration. We have so much to reap from this moment. There's so much to cultivate in these moments that you should be finding that inner strength to have sovereignty. This is the king, King of Pentacles. He sees what's before him. He's not enticed by it, nor is he seduced by it. But he's in sovereignty over it. And talking King of Pentacles, it's the world as we have provided it. So we know where it's coming from, and we know where it's going to serve our highest and best. And I want that to really sink in for those of you who needed to hear that right now. You know where it's coming from, and you know where to put it so that it will serve its highest and best. There's a time coming, and I say September 8th to a lot of people because this romantic vibe is just, it's in the air right now. You should be absolutely in love with your life as it's unfolding. You should be running forward without abandon, like towards what you're passionate about. And if that's a person, great. But your ambitions can really be transmuted for so much more if you would just get your vision together. I also struggle. I'm talking to me, okay? Like, if I could just get it together, I'd be so good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. He's got an accountant, and that accountant really has his back. The oracle card for today, weight of the world. It's all about boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. So we have this woman just floating in the sea, not being weighed down by the weight of all that's expected of them, but remembering to breathe and regulate their breath so that they can float. And it's all about this night of reflection. Take this moment. The world will be there tomorrow, or it won't be. But right now, what's important is that you find your center and that you really resonate with who you've become, because you've put in a lot of work that maybe not everybody can relate to. Reality is relative after all. We have to be accountable for what we've done and who we've become, and not place judgment because we don't see what everybody around us is doing all the time. We just have to float and regulate our breath and be the ones at the top. I guess that's how I can articulate that. So, I mean, this full moon energy, let it ground you. Let the change come through the deep reflection that you're going to find validation in the mirror by your own action. You've arrived to where you are by your own creed, and you'll make the tomorrow that is yours completely. Stay true to the vision. Let the machine be the machine, and stay relative to your own reality. That doesn't mean you are ignorant of the problems of the world, but it means that you find your way of making change within an arm's length by reaching out that hand and saying, how do I help where I'm at? Find out who your community leaders are. Talk to them. Find out how you can help the families that are in need around you. You know, sponsor a family in your community that doesn't quite have it together. find somebody, that is spinning around chasing their own tail. And if you can help and you can be a mentor in your own microcosm, then you've already kind of gotten out of that machinery that is going on right now. And you've lent to the collective experience of humanity in a positive way. And I think that's kind of a great way to kind of end it. A lot more good things to come. I will also be streaming some sound bath meditation guidance coming soon. So look out for that. I am renovating the space that I work out of, and I'm going to collaborate with some people in my close life to really bring that to my own community. So I'm excited about that, and I'll be able to share that here on the internet. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and full moon blessings to you. Do some good for yourself tonight. Take a bath, restart, recollect, get those good habits going again. And if you're doing something that's maybe not so good habit, then make this one of the last times you do it. And on that note, you guys, peace out.